grama, né, velho? Vai na escadaria mesmo?
É. Fica aí.
Olha a cidade lá, ó. Olha lá.
Ana, você mostrou como pegar essa menina aqui?
Vai comprar alguma coisa? Vou comprar pão. Olha, cachorro.
We're just gonna do a real quick stop here, buy some bread. É. Não?
Foi, vai dentro.
Tem surubim lá dentro?
É, só fora ali.
Deixa eu ver o surubim. Esse é o surubim. Tá. Um jeito. Really nice. That's a nice type of catfish right there. E essa outra é surubim também? Essa aqui? Não?
É nossa.
Preciso de mais 300.
Very good. This is a nice catfish. Really good. Yeah. People here don't eat a lot of catfish. They'll eat that type, but they don't eat a lot
Qual
of
ele dá tamanho?
E esse peixe aqui come? Comemos? Come?
Eu já comi esse cachorrão assado. Não é bom, não.
É, eu não gosto, muito espinho. Você que pescou? Ah, é? Quanto que ele, por curiosidade, pode falar?
Tá em 1.200.
What are we looking for? English. That's it? Ah, queria uma peixe. A gente quer encostar na próxima praia. Tá legal? E só para pararmos 40 minutos, uma hora, para aproveitar de fazer uma reunião legal. E talvez deixar o povo sair andar um pouco na praia de esticar as férias. Eu acho que é só isso.
I've mostly I've lived in the States in the States. Things like that. So I still have strings.
How deep is it here?
It's about 8 feet.
Stay away from me. You'll be all right.
Now we're all gonna have fishing to pay tomorrow.
I'm not gonna get you.
You graduate from there? My brother did.
I see hesitation on the part of the cowgirl on the upper deck.
Is that right?
Honey.
If you ever go back,
Well, are you going to be in the audience up there?
Do you want us to get you?
Romeo, real character, Romeo.
I are right here, but come on down.
Hey.
Honey's got to do that again and shut off for some reason.
oh, Otto? All right, we're talking. We're talking a 15x special here.
Mike, we got you another customer.
Yes, come on.
Come on, Anna.
Say no.
Ah, que isso, Ana? Que moleza! Que moleza! Tá. So shall we just... It's normally not quite that cold, but traveling on the river, you know, with the breeze, that makes a big difference. Tonight we shouldn't suffer as much from the cold being stopped. But I wanted to also just have a time of prayer and worship and sharing about what our team's involved with up here, and just for you guys to move into the spirit of what we're doing here as far as the ministry the team is doing and some of the challenges that they're undertaking here. So we'll have Paulinho share a little bit with us this morning about what they're involved with, and just really commit this time to the Lord, because there's a real spiritual battle going on in this region, and that's something I want you guys to be aware of and participating in. And as Pauline shares and as you experience and just observe, I'm sure you'll see that there's, in the invisible realm, it's a big battle going on. And I think the Lord has brought us all here to take part in that battle. So that's what I'd like to do this morning, is just do some spiritual warfare and exalt the name of the Lord here.
Blow the trumpet in Zion, Zion. Sound the alarm on my holy mountain. Blow the trumpet in Zion, Zion. Sound the alarm. The city, they run on the wall. Great is the army that carries out his word. They rush on the city. On my holy mountain. Blow the trumpet in Zion, Zion. Sound the alarm. Blow the trumpet in Zion, Zion. Sound the alarm on my holy mountain.
In a lot of areas, I've experienced really some extreme good times in the Amazon, some extreme moves of God in people's lives, but there's also the extreme challenges and the extreme difficulties that this region offers for the missionary and his work here. I was thinking last night, laying in my hammock, of the old Wide World of Sports. The song and the thing that goes with the beginning of the Wide World of Sports, the thrill of victory and the agony of defeat. And I see that there's a lot of that here in the Amazon. There's great thrilling victories where you see the Lord, free people and do neat things, and you get to experience a really exotic and interesting place. But there's also extreme battles and sometimes some really frustrating things that happen here. And I would just like to share, I'd like Paulinho to share first off about some of the things that they've been experiencing here over the years. Paulinho is a guy I really respect. He's been working 2 years here in the region. Started out working with the Palmary Indians, and now he's our regional leader over the community development projects we have here. And he's a beautiful brother who's really shown himself a man of God and someone that's carrying the cross to this region, and is just a wise young leader. And so I'd just like to give him an opportunity, and I'll translate for him, to share a little bit about what he's been doing up here. Então, fala aí o que você gostaria de compartilhar com a gente. Vem aqui, entrar na tela quente.
Bem, vocês estão começando uma aventura no Amazonas.
You guys are beginning a Amazonian adventure.
Bem-vindo a um lugar onde não tem correio, não tem telefone,
Welcome to a place that has no mail service or telephones,
não tem hospital,
no hospitals,
nem médicos e nem dentistas.
no doctors or dentists.
Um pouco de minha experiência em ver o poder de Deus em agir num lugar onde não existe essas coisas.
A little bit of my experience in seeing what the Lord has been doing in a place that doesn't have any of these things I mentioned.
Eu tenho viajado por esses rios e tenho visto a necessidade das pessoas que moram às margens dos rios.
I've traveled through these rivers and I've seen the needs of the people that live along the banks of these rivers.
Já houve momentos que eu vi crianças com malária, tendo febre, e eu não tinha nem um analgésico para dar.
I've seen times where I've seen children with fever, with malaria, and I wouldn't even have an aspirin to give them.
Mas orávamos sobre essa criança e várias vezes vimos Deus curar várias pessoas assim.
And I prayed for children like this, and several times we've seen the Lord cure people like in this situation.
Uma das experiências mais interessantes que eu tive o ano passado foi fazer um parto em que eu precisava uma cesariana.
One of the neat experiences I had last year was to help a mother give birth, and she needed to have a cesarean section to give birth to this child.
Uma índia Palmari, ela tinha muitos problemas para ter o filho, e uma vez uma parteira fez o parto dela usando um anzol grande de pegar peixe-pera.
This Palmary Indian woman has had lots of problems having children, and one time a midwife used a big fish hook on her to help her birth a child.
E ela estava grávida e quando começou as dores do parto, ela sentiu problemas e a parteira correu para me chamar.
So when she began to have labor, she began to feel problems, and the midwife came to me.
E o bebê estava fora de posição, estava...
Yeah, the child was breached sideways, transversed.
Nós, algumas das mulheres mais velhas tinham dado a ideia para amarrar uma corda aqui em cima, dar um nó e um homem puxar de um lado e outro do outro para fazer o bebê descer.
And some of the older women in the village were recommending to tie a rope across her belly, and for the men on one side to pull and the women on the other side to pull to help push the child out.
E Deus falou ao meu coração que ele iria fazer aquele parto, ele iria dar o bebê àquela mulher.
And at that time the Lord spoke in my heart that He would give birth to that child.
Gustavo, repreendi aquelas mulheres e disse que iríamos orar junto e Deus iria fazer o parto.
So I got really upset with these women and rebuked them and told them that the Lord would do a work here.
E juntos oramos
So
por
together
ela
we prayed for her
e ficamos aguardando.
and just waited.
E alguns minutos depois o bebê voltou para a posição sem ninguém fazer nada.
A few minutes later, the child returned to the normal position without anybody doing anything.
E nasceu um menino e a parteira dava glórias a Deus, aleluias ao Senhor que tinha nascido um bebê.
And the Indian mother gave birth to a young boy, and everybody was praising the Lord.
E o pai e a mãe da criança se converteram ao Evangelho.
And the mother and the father of the child converted to the Lord.
Então nós vemos um povo no Amazonas muitas vezes sem esperança, sofridos, acham que estão esquecidos no meio do mato, sem ninguém.
So we see the people here in the Amazon that are suffering, feel forgotten and lost, without hope and without anybody to help them.
E nós precisamos levar a mensagem a eles de que eles não estão sozinhos neste mato, que existe alguém que se importa com eles.
And we need to take the message of the gospel to them. They aren't by themselves in the middle of the jungle. That there is somebody that is concerned about them.
A presença de vocês em Camaruã vai ser uma grande bênção na vida das pessoas que estão ali.
The presence of you guys in the community where we're going, Kamaruan, is going to be a great blessing to them.
O fato de vocês estar conseguindo viajar na data marcada já é um milagre.
Yeah.
Amém.
Just the fact that you were able to travel on the day we set to travel is a miracle.
As coisas não acontecem assim no Amazonas.
That's not the way things work in the Amazon.
Temos em Camaruã mais 3 missionários, vocês vão conhecer.
In the community Kamaruan, we have 3 more missionaries working there.
Uma missionária dá aulas de alfabetização para adultos, outra tem um clube de mães com as senhoras.
Okay, one of the girls there is doing adult literacy, and another one is working with women's meetings groups.
Temos uma outra equipe no Rio Piranha, Ressaca da Onça, um lugar que podemos chamar de Confins da Terra.
We have another team working at a place called, let's see, the Jaguar Eddie
Dan?
Ben
Dan.
Den.
Maybe.
No,
Lair.
Hesaka is it's a curve on the river. So he says that's the ends of the earth. Hesaka da Onça.
Confins da Terra.
Anyway.
E enfrentamos algumas dificuldades para realizar o trabalho, mas em tudo isso temos visto o poder de Deus. Começamos de Aldeia Palmari para Camaruã no início do primeiro ano que estava aí. Eu tinha que remar 6 horas para estar em Camaruã.
When we first started, when I first started working with the Palmari, for me to come out to where we're working now in the Kamaruan, 6 hours paddling canoe.
Morávamos numa casa de palha e fazíamos carvão para cozinhar nossa comida.
We lived in a little grass house and we would make vegetable charcoal to cook on.
Hoje já melhorou, temos um motor de polpa, é bem mais rápido. Vamos ter uma casa com energia elétrica, já encanada e coisas assim. fazem parte da história da minha vida e é um povo que cativa a gente muito fácil.
I've learned to love the people here in the Amazon, and they today they're part of the history of my life, and they easily capture somebody.
Eu faço um trabalho de extração de leite.
I work here as well as pulling teeth as a dentist.
Várias vezes vi o Senhor abençoar pessoas que não pegavam anestesia e orávamos por ele e conseguimos extrair os dentes.
I've seen several times where we will be pulling infected teeth that are not able to be anesthetized. Thank you, Judy. And we just pray, and we've been able to pull the teeth without pain.
É uma região onde as pessoas com a dor de dente extraem dente com a ponta da faca, anzol, arpão.
This is a region where people have sore teeth, they pull them with a knife or with a hook or with a spear point.
E quero que vocês entendam que a presença de vocês em Camaruã não é simplesmente para construir uma casa.
I hope that you guys know that your presence here in the community of Camaruã isn't just to build a house.
A nossa equipe tem uma expectativa de que Deus também estará usando vocês para ministrar a comunidade espiritualmente.
And I hope that you guys are having the expectancy that the Lord will be using you to minister to the community as well spiritually.
Simplesmente com suas vidas, eles vão entender que eles não estão esquecidos nessa selva, mas que alguém veio de longe e se interessando por eles.
Just by you going there, you will be ministering that there are people interested in their lives, people that have come from far to minister to them, to serve them.
Então, se vocês pregarem apenas uma tábua na casa e desempenhar o papel para que Deus enviou vocês, a minha está.
So if you guys just nail a board up on our house and do that which the Lord has called you here to do, for me that's wonderful. Okay. Hey, as I was talking to Paulinho last night as we were driving the boat, we had a good time of sharing and just relating some of the news of what's been going on here all year, because as he said, there's no telephones and there's no mail service, so it's sometimes frustrating not knowing what's happening up here when you've got 10 or more people up here. And so it was good to hear some of the things that are happening in three different locations where he is working. It's called Camaruã, where Gilly is working, it's called Caroço, and we have this other location further up the river which is called Ressaca do Onça. And to hear the news, and the news comes like I shared, the good and the bad, the thrill of victory and the agony of defeat. And there's definitely a battle going on, and they've had some difficulties over the last year and a half with malaria, and some complicating situations with the local church that they came to serve, but because of some real legalistic doctrines, they're having a hard time in really walking together with them wholeheartedly. And so there's some things to be decided as far as that goes. The church that is established at the community where he is working is basically the only church in this whole region between this town where we left and where we're going to arrive the next town. And so that's an issue that I want you guys to be aware about in praying. It's just that the Lord would give us wisdom as how to relate to this church.
What type of church is it?
Assembly of God. And just for you to have an idea of the type of doctrine that they really hammer in on, and this is, their main message to the public is, if you're going to be a Christian, you've got to, wear the right clothes and have the right cosmetic touches, which is nothing whatsoever. Men have to shave, be clean shaven, and women can't cut their hair, and guys can't play soccer. And if you do those things, you're going to hell. So,
Is it really that adamant?
yes, it's terrible. Terrible, terrible. So it's to the point of they had a pretty good time last year working together, but things have gotten a little more difficult this year. So that's an area that we're going to be trying to work through while I'm here and see what we're doing. And these guys have been really held back as far as discipling because they haven't wanted to compete, so to speak, with the local church. But then they can't even invite people they're evangelizing to go to that church. Because if a non-Christian shows up into the church, they just wail on him. So they don't invite anybody to go to the church with them. So that's one of the issues. But I'd like to ask Pauline to share, maybe he might touch on that, or maybe something else, just some of the things that have been more difficult recently. Pauline, quais são algumas das coisas que têm sido mais difíceis? Sim, mas there's an epidemic of malaria in our region.
E toda a nossa equipe já teve malária. E eu já tive malária 9 vezes e enfraqueceu pouco.
Everybody on our team has had malaria. I've had it 9 times and I've been worn down a little bit. Sabe que with malaria, I mean, it's one thing to be sick at home where you have mom to rely upon, or at least a semi-secure environment, but it's a totally different thing to have malaria out in the middle of the jungle and not knowing if the medicine you might have available is going to kill it, take care of it, and how far you're going to be able to, survive. It's really a very difficult thing to handle and to persevere when you're sick like that. We had, his team last year spent most of the year sick with malaria, basically. He had 5 or 6 malarias last year. And, through the time it takes to get it and recover, that's being sick just about the whole time. And that was the whole team, so it was really difficult. And, all but one of the whole team is back this year. One guy already left because he got another malaria. Paulinho had malaria this year and he was sick for a month with it. So, they're working, and Gilly's working with a microscope to try to pull things together, but it's a real major problem, and we don't have the full-on infrastructure to try to eradicate malaria from the region ourselves. The government has a government agency, and he says they're doing a lot better job this year. They sent a couple boats up with microscopes to try to treat the people better. Because what happens is the people start treating their malaria, and as soon as they start feeling better, they stop taking the medicine because they feel like, well, if their children get it, they want to have it on hand. So they don't take it all, they keep some reserve, so they never do cure themselves, so they're just carriers of malaria and they continuously get sick. Then that malaria they have gets chloroquine resistant, so then when they go to treat it with the basic treatment, it doesn't work anymore, so they have to go get another drug. And the same thing happens with the other drugs. When they're not, it's resistant to 2 drugs, you go to one of the last options, and then if you don't do that, and it gets resistant to that, you've got no more options left, basically. So it's a real difficult problem. And it's at an epidemic level where he's at. It's the worst area of malaria in the city region that they're working in, or that they live in. So it's a big one. E como resolver esse problema?
A solução seria uma vacina que ainda não existe.
I asked him so what do you do to take care of it? He says a vaccine which doesn't exist. There's no vaccine for malaria.
He was saying the other day that he would believe it você falou que
com eles.
And some of the problems we've been having with them.
Gostaria que vocês não se preocupassem com isso e agissem naturalmente como vocês agem na tua igreja.
And I would like you guys to not worry yourselves about this, this situation. Just do what you normally do in your own local church.
Eu pretendo fazer um ou dois cultos com vocês ao ar livre, com eles participando também. Espero que Deus dê unidade em espírito e quebre esta barreira.
And I'm planning on doing 1 or 2 open door meetings, including these brothers, and just hoping that the Lord will give us a spirit of unity and break the barriers between us.
Como eu disse, vocês vão ser uma influência muito grande na vida das pessoas que estão lá.
As I said, you're going to be a great influence to the people that are there.
Mesmo sendo por 4 ou 5 dias.
Even if it's just me putting some of you up in local people's houses.
Quero que vocês aproveitem cada momento para que tenham uma boa experiência.
And I hope you guys make the most of every experience.
Amém.
Onde você tem vivido assim neste tempo? I'm asking where he's been living. If he hasn't had a house.
De casa em casa.
In house in house.
Because we don't really speak Portuguese. Because a lot of the sign language, not formal sign language, but general sign language, we use may be inappropriate. And are there a few basic signs you can maybe give us to communicate love, trust?
Good question. Gestos de mão, tem alguma coisa que não deve ser feita e alguma spiritist type of religion or witch doctors, this has been passed on to generations of local Brazilians as well as the Indian tribes. So there is definitely an animistic influence in the culture, and much more so in the Indian cultures. So I think we're ready to go. I think it would be good before we left to just whoever feels.
I got this fish. Look, he's out there. It's a porpoise. I got him. Oi! Sai. El barco es propiedad.
Tell him we got a second. Yeah, one like this.
Hay un. Se cortó. Se fue. Abajo del barco. Cuidado.
Yeah. I knew they were here, but I didn't know they were so prolific.
Yeah, there's quite a bit of them. He's under there looking. In my bag.
Squawking in the trees. I think they're parrots.
Vai. Tudo vai nadar.
And then release it?
No, that locks it.
Found it?
And then release it?
He found it, see?
Oh, that's good.
Look, Kevin, he found it.
Here's your bite at our feet.
Oh, yeah.
I'm still standing. Just within that step.
Hope we don't forget Tom. He just go down the river and meet us down there.
Bite step? No.
Is it record, pause, or record?
Record.
It's on?
Yes.
Who's that?
Have you got any hits?
Okay, here.
What? Got any hits?
No.
You haven't?
We did that down in Mexico and got a stuck by stinger.
Zooming in on.
Is that your soap? Whose soap is that?
Is this just soap?
Yeah.
Mine?
I don't want to use soap on
Do you mind if I use it?
Yeah, go ahead.
Alright, yeah, using that.
Where's the line form?
And
bottle finally floated over here.
so we brought the chainsaw to take care of the building material basically that we still need, which are basically boards and some lumber. So the chainsaw is going to go to work shortly, cutting lumber for us to finish the house. And I'm not sure how fast that's going to go. We've got a local guy doing that for us. And we have boards to do the floor, so we're going to start right away putting the floor on it. And there's another thing we want to do, which is to dig a well, just to provide the house with pure drinking water. And we brought a pump as well for that. So hopefully we're going to find water before we dig so deep. We don't want to no one. I don't think there's any wells in this community, so we don't know exactly how deep we're going to have to go. But maybe we should pray that we find water. Let's say
Strike the rock with a rod.
Is there any kind of process where you determine where you think
Today.
the best place to start?
Yeah, there's a stick.
If anybody has a process, they're welcome. The process we're using.
You get everybody but one person to complain very loudly about not having water, and then that person hits a rock.
The process we're using is far enough away from the outhouses that we feel safe, and not so high on the bank that we feel like we'll have to dig forever. So it's right around this, right behind that house. Actually, is where we're trying to dig. And there's no
Behind the house right here in front?
Yeah, this first house.
Where is this septic going to be for the house, that Paulino's house?
Paulino's house is right up on top of the hill with that thing, so it's a long, long way. There's another few the well, and we also want to try to help the local pastor put a cement floor in his house. And his house is where our two missionary girls have been living this whole year, so he's not even occupying the house now. And we'd like to leave it with the floor if we can, which would be a real nice gesture for him. So we brought some cement for that. So we'll be going after sand just down in the last sandbar that we passed by. Hopefully he'll be coming up with the boat before too long, and we might send a few people to help him gather sand and then carry it up the hill. So, I'd like to share a little bit more about the style of ministry and the style of work that we're doing here. It's definitely not the American way of doing things here. I'm sure you guys have noticed to a certain degree just the way things are done, and you'll notice even more when you start doing them, the amount of time and effort that it takes to do some small chores that seem small. And YWAM has been here working in the region for about almost 10 years now, and the way the first YWAMers arrived was like hitching rides on riverboats. And they would hitch rides all the way up past where Gilly's going, and they would borrow a canoe and paddle that in to the tribe, and they would walk into the jungle with just what they had on their backs to reach Indians. And that form of doing things has one really positive, maybe several positive aspects. One of those being you really can identify with the people when you're ministering and working on their level. And that's the way pretty much all the ministry has been done here. It's very financially low overhead, very simple, with a great dependency on the local people. Basically, if it wasn't for the local people helping the missionaries here, no one would have ever done anything, because they arrived many times not even with the basic food for them to survive on. So that's been the style of ministry here for all the teams, really. Turned out after about a year of that type of, hard, bite the bullet type of ministry. And it's something that we're trying to minister and establish right here, is a support base to give a little better, infrastructure to the teams that are working in this region that's basically up this river here. So, we're arriving with a certain amount of material, a certain amount of equipment, which has been a big blessing. Just in the last couple of years, we've been able to get some decent transportation up here with a new outboard motor, and this is all new relatively new for the team, because most of the guys that have been working here have been really great paddlers over the years and haven't had the privileges of using a lot of motorized transportation. And just the basic needs of life have taken up maybe 50% of their effort. Just keeping themselves going, keeping themselves fed, keeping themselves sheltered, and keeping themselves, surviving was about 50% of the missionaries' effort here on the field. And we're trying to reduce that, giving them a little better transportation, better living circumstances, like putting a pump in a well instead of having to carry water. Every day you just turn on the pump when the generator comes on and you have your water. And having a gas stove instead of having to make your charcoal and then cook with charcoal. Keep gas available so you can just come to the stove whenever you want and flick a match in there, you have your fire. That type of thing, which will really save a lot of time and a lot of effort here. But the thing is, here things tend to go slow, and you'll see as we start to carry the lumber around and pull trees out of the jungle, it's still a slow process to build, a slow process to see things progress. So hopefully, with the Lord's blessing, we'll see some neat things happening here as far as the material part of your ministry. But be aware, if it doesn't go smoothly, that's the way it always goes for everybody, and sometimes probably a lot worse than what you guys are going to be experiencing. So that's part of the challenge that we all face here. It's not just it's the Amazon, and that's just the reality that everybody works and lives in here. So that's something I hope you guys can be aware of as you start carrying sand by buckets up the hill. That's just the way it's done. It would be nice if there was a truck to pick it up and deliver it, but there's no truck. And if maybe someone would like to, design a conveyor belt to haul cargo at, that would be wonderful, but that's the type of thing that doesn't ever seem to happen. We all think about things like that, but it's hard to get those things done. So, Pauline went downtown to the next village to talk to the local pastor, see if he can't get his boat working to get sand, and get another carpenter for us to help us take trees out of the jungle and cut them up.
The local pastor, is that anything to do with you guys? Or?
There's a congregation here at this village, and there's the church, the Assembly of God church down. On the village we went by coming up where the lights were at. So that's where Pauline went. And I think we're going to be taking part in their service tonight, the Assembly of God service here. And we'll see how things go, but probably this afternoon we'll not work really late to just give some time to shower and bathe and swim, and maybe take the boat out for a quick fish, see if we can't get some fish for dinner. It's always important. And remember that new soccer ball I bought, so maybe we'll have time to break that one in.
In other words, we're going to knock off about 10:30.
So before we get going, I think it'd be nice if we just spent some time in prayer and praise to just dedicate this day to the Lord and break up and get to it, slowly but surely.
I will enter his gates with thanksgiving in my heart. I will enter his courts with praise. I will say this is the day that the Lord has made. I will rejoice for he has made me glad.
They start flashing battery, and then it goes for 10-15 minutes more. They probably go somewhere.
Work of the Lord. Remember, you guys, the name of the game is pace. Right. Just relieve each other every
Frank, I'd put those gloves on right now.
Mark.
No, you wait until after you already have a problem.
Tudo bem? Todos estão trabalhando?
Hã?
Todos estão trabalhando?
Sim, só aqueles dois estão te
Sim,
esperando.
eles vão comigo
Até
no
agora. Now, I'll go get the plane, and we got one saw. There should be another one.
No, we got two
We got two
saws.
saws. Now, is anything else?
The plane.
The plane?
The plane, the plane.
I got a chisel.
Chisel, that would.
I don't know if the chisel's here.
No, this finer one might work better.
Now we're gonna have to mark that up there.
Yeah.
This got to come out of here. Be a little hole right here. So when we get it notched on both ends for all those studs right there, then the notch on the other one will be just a little bit less.
Yeah. Well, it would be. Oh, you're all the way in?
And we don't want to line these seams up.
You're all the way in already, huh?
I'm all the way in already, but I can move it out.
Want that? Yeah, because that may
Pull that out. Pull
Yeah.
that out while I'm measuring. Right? Yeah. Right in
The reason I had it in there so we know it. Give yourself a little slop.
Yeah.
And Tom, did you hear what we said about not lining this up?
This saw's got pitch all over it.
We'll go push it.
Look.
agora para ver o negócio da costura lá da madeira.
Very nice.
Oi. Tudo bom?
Oi.
Agua. Sí.
If you like do that one thing that would be nice if you have Vaseline instead.
I don't think I got these words very well set here. Cut the conversation.
So what type of things, you know, have you considered them going up there beforehand, or considering them going there? What type of things
To do.
would you like to see them doing, and how long?
Well, I was considering just an outhouse. Yeah. Serious.
They don't have one.
We have two, but they want more. And it would be something they could do in a hurry, but since I didn't know that, they're not going to have things there ready for them to do when they get there.
What do they need?
Well, just pallia and the lumber. I don't know as far as
How do they get the floor?
I don't know how fast you can get it. Sometimes you can't.
If that's if they're willing to go for it.
Yeah.
It's not,
That was the only thing that I think of really, because the school needs cement to finish it up, and David hasn't got it out there yet.
Yeah.
I got on his case when he arrived, and that was, you know,
That was
he didn't like it. I mean, he didn't like it. Go.
Well, we brought a little bit of cement. We want to do that.
Well, I didn't. That's why I don't know whether it's real worthwhile to go there. I mean, you know, I would love to see him go if they really wanted to go.
I think it's worthwhile just to see. And, you know, it's just, it would be nice if you...
But I hadn't planned on anything because every letter I got from you was, you know, forget it. Every word I got from everybody was they're not going to have time.
Well...
And my first
Well, let's
thoughts
look at
was the Nova Esperance coming here and getting the people and they could sleep the night on the boat and get there the next morning. Stay one day and come back. Wouldn't have been great, but the boat's not working.
What's wrong with it?
It's got something wrong with the battery, and is it the generator? Yeah, the thing that starts the thing. There's a bad connection, and it will start, but he doesn't want to force start it and then bring it down here and not be able to get back up. So that's why he hasn't gone with it. And the generator, the lights aren't working. We have a float one. That's what we have up there.
A floating...
House. Boat.
Floating house.
But it doesn't function. Nothing functions on the... But it does have a nice sink.
Yeah, probably early morning on the 31st. So...
Oh, check my... will you survive while we get water without a hat? It said it's clean down here.
Yes, acorda ainda.
Acorda.
Use this board as a paddle.
Paulinho, por que você não investe num Vemo? I think we need to buy a paddle. This is really poor emissions, man. Doesn't even have money to buy a paddle, man.
Take these two.
What? Yep.
You know, it might be easier to put those white ones up here and hand up the orange ones. Mark, might be easier to put the white ones up here and hand the orange ones up.
Vamos carregar os grandes.
If he can,
Yeah, we're gonna need it, see. vai ficar muito mal de aparência. Perfeito só.
You know what I'm gonna bring next time, Mark?
Como que é?
We have a little tea strainer.
Are your jungle pants the same as my jungle pants? I think they are. Mine are just faded. Yeah, just faded out. Non-tear. Oh, right.
But you got the double sticking on the knees. Right. Catch.
Nossa. That's cassava. Maniac. Just sprouting.
Agora o problema é que não tem gasolina lá, viu, pai? Lá não tem?
It is really good. And they get big, you know? They're not the best thing to really exploit. They're kind of becoming endangered over there. Well, they sell them, you know?
Down at the village. Back on the mouth today. Probably drunk.
Oi?
Elas vão lá para casa lá ou para barco?
Esses vão para a minha casa em si.
Ok, eu vou. Pode passar lá, passam passar lá.
É muito ruim.
Bora, gente.
Vamos para o bote, depois eu vou voltar com o filtro aí e a gente traz de volta.
Ok.
Pô, rapaz. Você fica lá olhando as nuvens?
E por que você não trouxe o balde, cara? 20 litros? Ele vai precisar de mais.
Colocar aqui?
Sim.
You okay, Scott?
Yeah, my hand just slipped.
It's a part of the story.
Gotcha. Gotcha. Okay, Scott. This is a great engine, man. It's a little too big for a lot of things to fix on.
They like the power. They crank it right up.
Yeah,
Eu te falei que eu já caí desse motor aqui, mano.
yeah.
Quem tava com o pé assim, tem.
Como?
Tava em pé para puxar a correia.
Yeah,
Puxei com ele engatado.
he fell off his motor once. He
Dropped the motor in the drink?
no, it was running. It was in gear, and he started it, and he.
Oh,
no.
Olha, esse rapaz aí o que tá subindo lá tá no piano. Ele saindo de carona. Esse barco.
Você vai subir para a Piranha? Você mora lá?
You're throwing dirt on me.
Oh, I am?
over here.
Sorry.
Oh, all right, brother.
Do I have to do something? It's on
Turn the
lock.
top on anywhere but off. The first one to give you a light.
Did you bring any of that bug spray with you?
Yeah, you need some?
Yeah, they're starting to get bitten.
I don't know what the deal is, man. All of a sudden they just started.
Told you.
Yeah, they weren't coming before.
Very little. Spread it a
Yeah,
lot.
I've got some of this. In fact, this may be mine.
No way, brother.
Oh.
I don't take things that don't belong to me unless I need them.
Like I said, this may be mine.
I'm ready.
Okay, I'm coming.
Need to clean this again.
Throw them to me then.
Yeah, we might as well wear them.
Might as well. Throw 'em.
If it's good water? Huh? Do they know if it's good water or? I think it is. They haven't dug all that far.
Glenn?
Yeah. He wants to dig this out before you go any deeper.
Which one?
All this out. Oh, okay.
Kevin, can I get you just to back up just a
Let
little
me take
bit?
that.
I'm gonna put a marker here, Kevin, that when we get all built, Rolling Heights HBS.
Go straight up this path right here.
Yeah. Store where he got his soda. Someone got a soda. Jim Tomer. And I was gonna get it, and I copped out, man. I feel rotten about it.
Sim, ótimo. Very good. O que ele acha que não dá certo?
É só porque quando nós chegamos perto, talvez vai ficar algum problema, mas eu acho que não.
Se o espaço é pequeno, podemos
fazer a mesma coisa.
Não, fazer uma tal.
E você? Ruth. Ruth é você? Ah! Quantos anos você tem? Quantos anos você tem? 7. Meu filho tem 6 também. Ele tem aniversário em próximo mês. 8 anos, então.
Maior do mundo. Esta planta, se você come a raiz, é veneno. Agora, ela só serve para fazer a farinha. Agora, existe uma parecida com essa, macaxeira.
Então, você só para fazer farinha, não pode botar
And they use it for
Este
make fuel.
Do you eat manioc root?
Yeah, all the time.
I don't eat it.
Este vai ser teu quarto. Depois eu vou pegar as chaves.
That's the lumber we're going to use.
Can we dive in down there?
Oh, Deborah, I can't believe it.
What?
Did he hit the
No,
bottom?
I think it's deep here. Woo! Come on, Tom!
Stand right up.
You guys might get wet over there.
You gotta jump rope.
You might get wet though.
It's alright, man. I'll move.
It's okay, you don't mind getting wet.
I don't mind getting wet. Man. This is the real shit. This is the most exciting part of this evening, outside of
Na sua presença está a sua igreja e que os servos reunidos para nós cultuar o Senhor, para louvar, para agradecer o Senhor. Venha nesta hora tomar o primeiro lugar nesta reunião, abençoando o Senhor Deus, que seja para a glória e a honra do teu nome. Abençoa a mim o teu servo, abençoa a tua graça, a tua sabedoria para dirigir muito, meu Senhor. Abençoa, Senhor Deus, os louvores desta noite, esse canto de hino, a mensagem da tua palavra, a vida que aqui vai chegar.
Sim, meu Pai. Glória a Deus, aleluia.
Lava o teu sangue, cerca esta casa com o teu sangue.
Sim, meu Pai. Glória a Deus, aleluia. Glória a Deus,
Amém.
em Deus espera, porque vencendo Jesus irá. Intercede os altos céus, porque te abate, ó minha alma, e te comove, perdendo a calma. Em breve, as dores vindas, o dia alegre, ó minha alma, e te comove, perdendo a calma. Não tenhas medo, em Deus espera, porque vencendo Jesus virá.
Acima de tudo, queremos glorificar em nome de Jesus. Um culto, talvez lá em cima, onde está construindo nossa casa mesmo, porque é bastante gente. Eu vou convidar algumas pessoas da Foz e lá cada um vai ter a oportunidade para dizer seu nome, apresentar. Vamos fazer um louvor um pouco melhor a Deus. Do que poderia ser feito se eles começassem a falar agora. Iria dar mais tumulto do que agora. Eu queria ler uma palavra de Deus para vocês, que está em...
Muitas vezes tenho já andado por aqui por alguns anos.
Glória a Deus.
E eu espero que daquilo que eu tenho visto, vocês também têm visto, que o reino de Deus está chegando neste lugar.
É verdade. Aleluia.
Pelo menos a minha percepção é que Deus está fazendo alguma coisa nova aqui nesta região.
Glória a Deus. Aleluia, Jesus.
É verdade, irmãos?
Verdade.
Deus tem feito algo especial. Deus está fazendo uma coisa nova aqui.
Glória a Deus.
Jesus me alegra muito. Hoje mesmo eu estava lá fora pescando no lago e pensando como realmente Deus tem trabalhado aqui nessa região, como as coisas têm mudado.
Glória a Deus.
Isso pelo menos é que eu estou vendo. Em o teu reino, que seja feito a tua vontade aqui na terra, como lá no céu. Foi assim que Jesus ensinou os seus discípulos a orar. Que seja feito a tua vontade aqui na terra, como lá no céu. Como que é a vontade de Deus está feito lá no céu? Como que é a vontade de Deus? Como que é feito lá no céu? Deus reina no céu? Tem pecado no céu? A forma que Deus reina lá no céu, a forma que a vontade de Deus está feita lá no céu é de uma forma total. Todos os seres, todos os anjos, tudo que existe lá no céu
Glória a
serve
Deus, aleluia.
à vontade de Deus, não é verdade?
Glória a Deus, aleluia.
E assim que Jesus ora e ensinou os seus discípulos a orar, que seja feita a tua vontade aqui na terra, como lá no céu. E lá no céu é todos.
Glória a
Todas as áreas
Deus,
das suas
aleluia.
existências, das suas vidas, obedecem. Mas veio aqui a função de abençoar essa região toda.
Glória a Deus,
Sabe por
aleluia.
quê? Porque eles acreditam que Paulinho é um homem de Deus. Eles acreditam que Paulo está enviado por Deus com sua
Glória a
equipe
Deus.
para abençoar essa região.
É verdade, meu Deus.
E por isso, entendeu? É tipo um veículo para abençoar todos.
Aleluia,
Estão aqui de
Jesus.
coração aberto para ministrar e abençoar
Glória a
essa
Deus.
região. E isso me anima, porque é só Deus para fazer uma coisa dessa, né?
É verdade.
Esse é um milagre.
Glória a
Eu
Deus.
sempre reconheço que para eu estar aqui é um milagre mesmo. Agora, para 12 ou 15 americanos para estar aqui é um milagre mais ainda.
Glória a Deus, aleluia.
Gente, eu estou orando que Deus pode compartilhar o seu ânimo para com vocês durante este tempo. Que vocês podem receber um impulso do ânimo do Senhor para vencer. Em nome de Jesus, Senhor, nós pedimos, abençoa e cura toda enfermidade aqui, Pai. Em nome de Jesus, Pai, abençoa este menino e cura ele de toda enfermidade, Pai. Em nome de Jesus, Senhor, abençoa a sua mãe e abençoa ela com sabedoria e graça do Senhor para criar e servir a sua família, Pai. Fortalece ela na sua fé, Pai. E eu apresento também essas outras pessoas que aqui estão, Pai. Em nome de Jesus, Senhor. Levanta o Senhor, enche o teu ânimo, Pai. Em nome de Jesus, Pai. Abençoa também, Senhor, o Isaac aqui, Pai. Em nome de Jesus, Pai. Abençoa ele, Pai. E ministra para ele com teu Espírito Santo, Pai. E dá-lo mesmo experiências grandes com o Senhor, Pai. No coração cheio do temor do Senhor, Pai. Em nome de Jesus, Pai, faça que teu amor esplendece na sua vida e que ele ande nos teus caminhos, Senhor, e que a realiza proezas do Senhor, que ele realiza grandes obras para o teu reino, Pai. Pai, muito obrigado por Senhor Cabral, Pai. Obrigado, Jesus, pela forma que o Senhor te tratou na vida dele, Pai. Nós te pedimos, realmente, Senhor, derrama teu amor sobre a sua vida, Pai. Derrama teu Espírito na sua vida, Pai. Levante ele, Senhor, com a tua palavra, Senhor, que teu Espírito para ministrar e ser uma bênção, um homem de Deus nessa região, Pai. Em nome de Jesus, Senhor, enche essa vida com teu Espírito e a sua família. Que o Senhor toque na vida dele com o teu Espírito e faça aquilo que ele está mais precisando, Senhor. Toque na vida dele, Senhor. E, Senhor, eu te apresento também, Senhor, o Senhor Carmelo aqui, Pai. E eu te peço que o Senhor dê sabedoria e graça, Senhor, na sua posição de liderança nessa comunidade, Pai, na sua posição de ministro do teu Evangelho. Que o Senhor esteja discipulando ele na tua palavra. Que o Senhor esteja realizando grandes coisas na sua vida, Pai. Que o Senhor esteja derrubando qualquer coisa que impede ele crescer.
Tá? Só para mim. Só para mim. Tá ousado, será?
Tá. Aqui tá bom.
Vai te mudar.
That's right up his alley. Fish.
That's a mommy here. She's got tumors on her tummy.
Piranha.
Piranha.
Comeu um dedo.
See it? You catching it? You catching it?
Pull it just down just a bit so I'm not getting the...
Okay. Okay. Is this okay?
Tá filmando o precioso.
Okay.
Everyone loves a camera.